A Suzuki made me ride fast. Let's get into it.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So this video is all about, well, me retracing my roots a little bit back to the different bikes that I've ridden and how they've made me feel. And I could safely say, hand on heart, that the Suzuki motorcycles that I've ridden made me ride faster, or enabled me to ride faster. Now, quite a few years ago now, I was on a racetrack and I was speaking to some race guys from Suzuki, and we were kind of talking about bikes, as you do, and we're talking about the difference between the 1000cc GSXR and the 750 GSXR, and I've always thought that the 750 was a faster bike round a track for the average rider, I hasten to add, and they kind of agreed, which I was surprised about. Oh, somebody actually agrees with me, because they're great bikes to on the road but also on the track. And I always thought that this is back in the day, of course. I'm not talking about now, where, you know, every manufacturer is really great, of course, especially producing 1 litre sports bikes that just go like the wind. And I've always had this kind of weird connection with Suzuki motorcycles, in that it's not that I particularly like them as a brand, or that I think they're overly beautiful, let's say, but I just automatically identify speed with Suzuki. Now, if you're a Yamaha rider, a Honda rider, a Kawasaki rider, you're going to say, oh, well, what about us? What about us? And you're absolutely right. You know, you could associate speed with any of those bikes as well. But for me, my history, I always associated speed with Suzuki. The name sounded fast, and the bikes that I rode were always fast. Now, when I first swapped dirt bikes for road bikes, my first road bike was a Suzuki. And then once I passed my road test, my motorcycle road test, the next bike I jumped from 125 right up to a 750. And I bought a Suzuki. So it was Suzuki, and it was an old GS 750. But that was the first time that I was able to get on a bike and go fast. Well, fast for the time and fast for me. And I was just amazed by what this bike could do and how fast it could go. Then I rode a GSX 1100 Katana from 1982, and it was absolutely a monster, absolute monster. I was in awe of it, couldn't get enough of it. Now, if you compare that bike to today's bikes, of course, yeah, it pales into insignificance. However, for me at the time, again, it just reinforced Suzuki speed, getting on bikes. They were doing quite well in MotoGP at the time, and they were just great bikes. It was just a great time to be riding a Suzuki. And for me, it's always been about speed, and it's always made me ride faster. Well, faster than I normally would have ridden, if you know what I mean. So as the years passed and I changed it onto different bikes, and then I rode lots of different bikes, I always had in the back of my mind that if I ride a Suzuki, I'm going to be a little bit faster. It's a foolish thing to think. It's a ridiculous notion, I know, but in the back of my mind, I associated that bike or that brand with speed. So any other bike that I went on, I always thought, are they going to be as fast as a Suzuki? And of course, some bikes would be a lot faster and other bikes would be slower. It really depends, of course. Now, one of the things I loved about Suzuki as well, that back in the day, they were known for having bulletproof engines. Now, that's what I was told. I didn't know any better myself, but they just seemed to be good, sturdy bikes, fast bikes for the time, and well, decently engineered. Until I actually started owning one, then I had to keep on working on it and breaking them down and breaking down engines and putting them back together again. And then I thought, well, maybe they're not as strong as I thought they were. And then I kind of realized, well, all bikes are the same, all engines are the same, you know, it's just one of those things. So let's fast forward this now to modern day era, and say a couple of years ago I went to test ride quite a few sports bikes at the time, and the GSXR 1000 was just an awesome bike. It's fast, it's nimble, as they all are. They seem to be getting a little bit smaller physically sized, or I'm getting bigger as it were, but they were just awesome, you know. And again, it just speed. I just saw speed, I felt speed, and no matter what bikes I ride, no matter where I go, I just associate speed with Suzuki, and I always have. I can only associate it, I suppose, with my first experience of speed, and because that was with a Suzuki, I always associate it with it. And there's been lots of bikes over the years that I've ridden or test ridden or had a go on, and I'm sure you're the same as well. But as I say, anytime I got on a Suzuki, I always thought this is a potential to go faster than I've been before. Let us know if you've had similar experiences with any brand of bike, and no matter what it is, you always think this bike's going to be good, or this bike's going to be fast, this bike's going to be really comfortable, it's going to handle well, because it's in this case, a Suzuki, regardless of how irrational this might be. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with you, because I'm riding this thing today, just clunking along some back lanes, and I thought I'd share that with you. It's kind of got Suzuki colours on it now, and I thought, you know, reminds me of back in the day. I just wish this would go a little bit faster, that's all. It's only a 125, but you know, there we go. That's what it's supposed to be about, isn't it? Just having a little bit of fun, going slower in my old age. And well, I suppose I need to go and hit a couple of dirt trails now. But there we go. Suzuki's, for me, always associate those with going fast. What about you? Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like and share. Check out the website, RevelatorAlf.com. Ta-da!